Small businesses are not the problem. The problem is the people who own them. So I am not here to fix your business. I'm here to fix you. You are going to go home and fix your business, right? Which means you're going to do something from today. From this afternoon, you're going to start doing something a little bit different, whatever it is. I'm going to take you through 7 exercises. You decide. Why do I want you to start today? Because here's another point. A business strategy or a plan is not about what you're going to do in the future. It's about what you're going to do today in light of how you'd like the future to look. You do not plan for what you're going to do tomorrow. You plan what to do today so you can change tomorrow. So let's get started. First of all, why do you always feel like you're drowning? In your small little business, this is what happens. In the beginning, one day you woke up and you had an idea. You thought to yourself, I've had enough of this. I'm tired of working for my boss at the moment. I want to start a new business. Let me just tell you first of all, what is the worst thing about working for yourself? If you think your last boss was an idiot, he is nothing compared to the guy you're going to work for now. Okay. This guy doesn't pay you. He doesn't give you leave. He doesn't understand sick leave, and he doesn't accept excuses. You had this idea, you decided to open your business, and then what followed was what I call the early days. These are the exciting days. Oh, we're so excited about what we're doing. We can't stop talking about it. Anybody that we bump into, we tell them about this wonderful idea we have to start a roof sheeting business. We open the business, things start going well, and pretty soon we reach something called the I can do anything stage. Now all of a sudden we think to ourselves, what I did in Pretoria, I can definitely do in Soshanguve. What I did in Soshanguve, I can definitely replicate in Hammanskraal. And I might as well do it in Johannesburg. And what I was doing for CDs, I can do for books, and what I was doing for shirts, and we think we can do anything. In fact, we think we can walk on water at that particular stage. And I call that stage the PAYE stage, because that's where you start buying planes, automobiles, yachts, etc. All the things that you shouldn't be buying, you start spending your money on. And then all of a sudden, one day you wake up and the first signs of trouble. An order gets cancelled, you get taken to the CCMA by one of your staff members, you can't get money into the account, and all of a sudden, you find yourself sitting and languishing in this dip. And this dip, unfortunately, is where most small businesses in South Africa are right now. We're just kind of sitting there. As I said to you guys, every single April, without fail, I go through that dip. Every single April, I think to myself, time for a job. And then things slowly turn around, but they only turn around after a particular point, and that's that point which is called decision time. At that particular time in your life, you decide, you know what, I don't want the small business to struggle anymore. I want to do something better. Now, at that stage, you can decide to get out of the business altogether. You might say, this isn't for me, I need to go find a job. Or you might say, I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it different, and I'm going to do it better. Whatever happens, no bad decisions, make a decision. Once you've made the decision, that's where the real work starts. You start doing all the things you should have done in the beginning. You actually register for VAT and you pay it over. And that's where the reward comes. And by the way, I just want to warn you, this is a wave. It keeps coming back week after week, month after month, year after year. But the good news is that successful small businesses are those that realize that they're in the dip and get out of there as quickly as possible. And that's up to you. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a 7-step plan on how to turn your business around. But before I do that, I want to mention the 7 mistakes that all small businesses make, and I include myself in this. I've made every one of these mistakes. Mistake number 1, you say to yourself, I'm not very good at marketing. And because I'm not very good at marketing, I'm not going to do any marketing. I'm just going to see what happens. Maybe what I'll do is I'll print a couple of brochures and I'll hand them out at the robots, or maybe I'll take a flyer, or maybe I'll even take something in the yellow pages. Who's tried that kind of thing? Who's tried the flyers, banners? I'm going to teach you a little trick that you can use for your next brochure. When you print your next brochure and you put your phone number at the bottom, put there, ask for extension 1. When you print a flyer, ask for extension 2. When you take out a banner, ask for extension 3. When you go in the yellow pages, ask for extension 4. Then the phone rings, brand strategy, Mike speaking, how may I help you? Could I please have extension 2? That extension appears to be busy, can I help you? And then you tick off number 2 on your little chart. Now we know exactly where they found your advert. Now we know we need to spend more money on brochures and less money on the local newspaper or anything like that. So at least the little bit of money that we have got, we are spending in the right place. Second thing, go in without a business plan. Now, I can tell you right now, I started my business with a business plan. It was in my head, I said, I want a business. That was it. Whole business plan. I could understand it, nobody else could. Do you really need a business plan? Well, that really depends on whether or not you need money. If you need money from an institution or from a bank or someone like that, you must write a very thorough business plan. If not, what you need to do is just have a plan for yourself, where you see the business going, how you're going. To me, the marketing plan is much more important than the business plan. Thane and I have been traveling the country. We've been seeing these small businesses with It's My Biz. When we sit down in front of a business owner, we always say to them, what is your problem, ma'am? And they always say the same thing. They say, we have a cash flow problem. Then I look at their books and I say, no, you don't have a cash flow problem. There is no cash to flow. You have a marketing and sales problem. Once we've fixed your marketing and sales problem and there is some cash, then you'll have a cash flow problem. Then you'll phone Thane. He'll come and tell you how to spend the money. In the meantime, my job is to tell you how to make the money. So that, please God, a year from now, you come to this meeting because you have a cash flow problem and not a cash problem. Okay, so that's your business plan. Number 3, we do things the wrong way around. First of all, we go and buy all the fancy equipment. Unless you are Sebastian Vettel or Jensen Button, you do not need a faster car. Okay, let me say that again for all the men. You do not need a faster car right now. You might need a car, you might need a delivery van, you might need a computer system, a computer, an office, but you don't need fancy offices. You don't have to spend the money now. Make the money first, spend it later, and not the other way around. Number 4, we think it's all about us. We think because we think it's a good idea, everybody else is going to think it's a good idea. Another thing, the worst number in the world is 1 for small businesses. That's one person with one idea, one source of income, one client, because if any of those things fall by the wayside, you know, every small business is sitting here and dreaming about that big government contract until you get that big government contract. Then you'll be sitting here and dreaming about lots of little private contracts rather, because they pay, and they pay regularly. So whatever it is, not just one idea with one person. In gratitude, when we finally get it right, we forget to thank the people around us. We forget to thank our spouse and our children who stood by us and had to go weeks without any luxuries and sometimes without school fees and without food. We forget to thank the people that gave us the money, the people that assisted us. And most importantly, we forget to thank our clients. We think we've arrived, this is it, it's all due to us. We give ourselves that statutory pat on the back and we move on. Let me tell you something, great entrepreneurs have one skill that nobody else does. When things go really well, they have the ability to look out the window and see who they can thank. And when things go wrong, they look in the mirror and they know exactly who to blame. Other people do it the other way around. When things are going badly, they look out the window for someone to blame, and when things go well, they look in the mirror. So ask yourself, which of those are you? And then finally, number 7, we tend to follow the herd. Just because somebody else is doing it, we think we should do it as well. So what I want you to do, I'm not telling you to find an original idea. I want you to find something original about the idea you're going to do and build on it from there. Those are the 7 mistakes. You're probably making most of them yourselves, if not all of them. And if you're not in business yet, try and avoid at least some of them.